Teachers delivering their curriculum through distance learning may not have the opportunity to be evaluated by an administrator in person, but they can now create portfolio submissions of teaching artifacts in the LoTi Lounge so that administrators can review and evaluate teacher practice virtually. In this video, I'll show you how to create a teacher practice portfolio submission and submit it to your administrators for evaluation. On the teacher dashboard of LoTi Lounge, I'll navigate to the Evaluations block and click on the Portfolio Evaluations button. In some school systems, administrators open an observation record during the pre-observation conference, and in others, the teacher creates the record. To that end, either a teacher or an administrator can create a portfolio evaluation submission record in the LoTi Lounge. Since no record has been created yet by my administrator, I'll click on Create a Portfolio Evaluation Submission to open a new record. You can title the submission with any name you choose by clicking in the title field, but by default, the record is given a title of the month and year in which the submission was created. The default name works fine for me, so I'll leave that as it is. Just under the title, it shows the status of the submission, which is opened. Portfolio evaluation submissions that are open but not finalized and submitted are viewable by the teacher who created them only. An administrator can see an evaluation submission has been opened, but they cannot see the contents of the submission until it has been finalized. Guidelines for portfolio submissions suggest a window of time in which teaching samples can be collected for observation. We call this the observation window. To enter the start date and end date of the observation window, I'll click on the calendar selection tools and then click on the appropriate dates to select them. In this case, the observation window was from October 5th to October 17th. You must select the observation form to be used when evaluating the submission. This ensures that the evidence submitted can be aligned to the evaluation tool that's appropriate to your position. After choosing the teacher evaluation from the pull-down list, I'll click Submit. And after submitting, a data entry field appears for each domain of the selected evaluation form. Text and links can be entered and formatted in the data entry fields for each domain. This allows you to include narrative comments about the samples in your submission, as well as links to documents, videos, presentations, websites, etc. Check with your administrator during your pre-observation conference about specific domains that should be targeted for this observation period. For this demonstration, I'm going to be entering a few samples for Domain 1. Be right back. Now that I've entered the narrative and sample information, I want to make sure my samples have been linked so that my administrator will be able to view them easily. I already linked the first document. Now I'll highlight the link to the second document, copy the text, then click on the link icon. I'll paste the link into the URL field. Then I'll check to make sure New Window is selected as the target before clicking OK to save. This ensures that the sample will open in a new window when viewed. I think my evidence is all set, so I'm going to click on the Submit button to save my evidence and view the submission. As I return to the Portfolio Evaluation Submission list, my newly created submission is selected and showing for review below the list. The information showing in the Artifacts Evidence section appears exactly as it will show for administrators once it has been submitted. Just to double check before I submit, I'll click on each link to make sure my documents appear in a new window. Yep, that link looks good. And that link looks good as well. Since everything looks good, I'm ready to finalize and submit for review. I will click on the Finalize link to the far right of the portfolio submission. The system will ask if I'm sure I want to submit this portfolio because it cannot be modified or deleted once it is submitted. I'm going to click OK, and done. You can see that the status of the submission has changed from opened to submitted. The submission is now available for the administrator to review and evaluate. The virtual observation feature is available now for all LoTi Lounge accounts with teacher evaluation or classroom walkthrough subscriptions. Contact LoTi to get started with virtual observations anytime.